Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the November 23rd full board meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we will have Antoinette read our mission statement.
Macomb County Community Mental Health, guided by the values, strengths, and informed choices of the people we serve, provides quality services which promote recovery, community participation, self-sufficiency, and independence. Thank you. Before we move on further, I want to take a moment here real quick because about a week and a half ago, our CMH family suffered a tragedy when one of our CEO vans got into an accident. Several people were seriously injured. One of the people we serve actually ended up passing away. There were staff members in the van. It was a horrible accident, and also, on top of that, one of our board members, Mark, his mother passed away recently as well. And I just wanted to take a moment of silence real quick to remember those that have passed and hope for the ones that were injured to get better. Thank you. All right, next we will move on to item 3, adoption of the agenda.
So moved for support.
Motion from Linda. I know when it's Lori now. Support from Lori. Questions or comments on the agenda? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. 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 All opposed? The agenda is adopted. Hearing of the public. Anybody from the public wishing to speak on anything on the agenda? Nobody's jumping, so we will close the first hearing of the public. We'll move on to item 5A, approval of the minutes of the CMH full board meeting on October 27th, 2021. I'll take a motion to approve.
Support.
Motion from Nick, support from Linda. Questions, comments on these minutes? All right, hearing and seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Minutes are approved. Next, we will do these separately. We'll go with item 6A, approval of the minutes of the CMH Board Policy and Legislative Committee meeting on November 8th, 2021. I'll take a motion to approve.
So move.
Support.
Motion from Nick, support from Lori. Linda, did you want to make a comment?
Yeah, I have a comment. I had the opportunity to comment, and I commented, but it didn't get included. So I'm not sure where it should go in or how to do this, but at the meeting, I pointed out that the Policy and Legislative Committee is a committee of the board, and that I felt the strategy that was being discussed strayed from the CMH Association position, and that I had a problem with that without getting approval from this board we say that we work as a metro region, so without running it by the metro region, and before it was carried out. And I was unclear what the proposed crafting of legislation would entail. So after I left the meeting, I was still unclear what that would entail. And I think we have a resolution coming, not a written resolution, but a fix. So, and I do think that going forward, we need to make sure that any subcommittee reports out to the full board what happened, because sometimes we're in the meeting and we think that's enough, but the board needs to know the work of the committees. So, thanks.
Thank you, Linda. Nick?
Just as a couple of points, I would note that there was no action taken at this meeting for the board to approve. There was discussions of options. There were 3 areas that Linda raised. One was that we needed to do more to get the word out among people on our mailing list, providers, people who are served, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and that's included in the minutes. And she did indicate that we should coordinate our efforts with the state association and with the Tri-County Association, and those recommendations are in the minutes as well. So I mean, I don't know the specific points you wanted. Sandy talked to me about it. Sounded more like it was debate rather than decisions. As I think all of our members know, we don't include debate in the minutes, but only decisions that were made.
Thanks, Nick. Anyone else with questions, comments? Linda, if you want to make an amendment to the minutes, you're more than welcome to. If not, we can go forward and approve them or not.
It's fine, as long as the full board knows that the full board is going to know.
Okay. Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you, Linda.
Thanks.
Anyone else? All right, we have a motion and support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Minutes are approved. Next is item 6B, approval of the minutes of the CMH Board Program and Budget Committee meeting on November 10th, 2021. Motion from Antoinette, support from Mark. Questions, comments on these? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Minutes are approved. Item 7, request to approve. We had all of these items at program and budget, so I will look for a motion for approval of items A through D.
Motion to approve A7, A through D.
Support.
Motion from Lori, support from Nick. Questions, comments on any of these items? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item 8, nothing to receive and file. Item 9, no resolutions. Item 10, voucher listings. Take a motion to pay the bills.
Motion to pay the bill. Support.
Motion from Lori, support from Linda. Questions, comments on the bills? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Bills are paid. Management report. CFO report. It's not happening tonight. Richard is out. Ken is out. Adam's not going to do it. So we will move on to the CEO update. Dave's not here. Adam's going to do that one. Go ahead, Adam.
I will cover for Dave tonight. It would be a very boring covering of the CFO update if I were to do that. So a couple things to tell you about tonight. First of all, our office moves. We are well underway. We have many of our departments already reporting to the new office. We have kind of a skeleton crew at the old office, including myself and a few front desk staff, a few people in back. It's looking very barren, but it's moving along. Early December is going to be the final move, so we're looking forward to having everybody at the new location, and just excited to have all the teams together and be able to help with that collaboration. So real good news for us moving forward as a team. Just a quick comment on network adequacy. We've had some RFPs that you all have approved to be released. We've been getting in responses. Early in next week, we're going to be able to review some of the responses that came in for both residential and primary provider. So we hope to have some new contracts coming through. ABA is due to be released very soon. And then we're going to look at bringing another couple RFPs next month requested for a few other services that we want to expand on. So we're continuing to grow and look at meeting the needs of the members of Macomb County. CCBHC also growing here. We're continuing to increase the amount of members here. We've been doing a lot of work on the DCO agreements. We had a meeting with our primary providers this week about the DCO agreements, so it was a good meeting. They asked a lot of questions. We're going to continue to get those in place moving forward into the new year. And then wanted to end on kind of a high note, the customer service numbers. Wanted to share some success there. We've had 3,800 calls come in so far for this month, and we are meeting our benchmarks for service level. We're at 93%. Our goal is 90%. We are meeting abandonment rate at 1.72%. The goal is under 5. So we're well under 5, and our average speed to answer is 26 seconds. Our goal is 30 seconds. So this is, since we've kind of started this project, this is the first time that we've met all those numbers. And I feel pretty confident we'll meet it for this month. This is, we still have some time to go, but it's going in a really good direction. So yeah, definitely a success there that I wanted to share with you. Other than that, I just hope you all have a great Thanksgiving and some time off and time away from the normal routine and some time with family. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Adam. Questions, comments for Adam? All right, moving on. Other possible agenda items. Couple reminders. We have program and budget on Wednesday, December 8th at 6 p.m. We will have a recipient rights advisory committee meeting on Thursday, December 16th at 8 a.m. and we're hoping it will be in the new building. And full board will be Tuesday, December 21st at 6 p.m. because of the holiday. And I will turn it over. Nick, did you want to make some comments?
Yeah, just some updates on what has transpired since the Legislative and Policy Committee meeting and in following up on the legislative proposals so that all the board members are aware. As to the Shirkey proposal first, which is the one we're most concerned with, I believe the emails have gone out to our full mailing list. That's basically the Alan Bolter from the CMH bullet points or points of opposition with a link that allows people to express their concern or their thoughts directly to their state representative, state senator, and the governor's office. The letter, the recommended letter opposes it, but they're certainly free to change that any way they want. The issue of the legislature's been out of session last week and this week. They're expected to be back the next 2 weeks, possibly a third, although most people, including Phil, have advised me that that's not likely, and that's good. They do their best work when they're not in session. No, and I said that when I was a legislator, so it's nothing personal. The reality is, at any rate, we were talking about being able to raise our points on the House floor by seeking people through our lobbyist, Gary Owen, who we've gotten agreement from both the Board of Commissioners informally and from the county exec that we can utilize his talents in monitoring and raising the arguments, and he's asked for some draft amendments that he can try to find sponsors for. As Linda pointed out, the committee didn't want to do that without talking with the state association and the metro region. I did talk with Alan Bolter directly, and Alan not only concurred with that recommendation, but has emailed me suggested amendments that I'm trying to put in draft form, and those will circulate to everybody to keep you apprised. We don't expect those amendments to pass, nor do we expect Senator Shirkey to be amenable. He does not seem to be interested in negotiating, and so we're not really negotiating, which was what the CMH Association said, that didn't think that was possible, but this would be a vehicle for raising the arguments against the bill on the Senate floor. Since you can't testify on the Senate floor, the way senators make their argument is by offering language that basically changes the bill dramatically. And so I'm doing some drafts to float around everybody here, as well as to Gary and to Alan, and Dave agreed. Of course, he's been out of town, but right now it didn't matter. Dave agreed as well to float all of the things we're doing with the metro region. So those are the things that are happening in that regard. Just for the information of the committee, I was invited by Bob Sheehan and Alan Bolter to participate in a Zoom call with labor leaders to try to encourage labor to become more engaged in opposition to the Shirkey proposal. I did that. The Zoom meeting was Bob and Alan, myself as a former AFSCME lobbyist who is a current board member, and Bob King, who is the former president of the International UAW, who is a board member in Washtenaw County and whatever region PIHP Washtenaw County's in. I think it's 3, don't hold me to that, participated. And then from labor was Ron Bieber, the president of the Michigan State AFL-CIO, his lobbyist, in-house lobbyist, Ryan Covert, and 2 people from SEIU, Jeremy Tripp, and I've forgotten the other woman's name off the top of my head. Ron was very amenable to our position as they played a major role in fighting the 298 proposal, and this to a great extent is similar to 298, was looking for input from his affiliates. AFSCME is their second largest affiliate, so that's helpful. I talked to Brian Nagayan, a former member of our board, and he floated all of the issue among the regional directors and regional CAP coordinators in the state and got them to let Ron know that he had the green light to oppose the Shirkey proposal from his affiliates. That's about 2/3 of the membership, those 2 unions alone. SEIU is outside of the AFL-CIO, but is already engaged and agreed to spend a lot more time on lobbying the issue. So that seems to be moving on track. And then in terms of the Whiteford proposal over in the House, we were told there would be a new substitute. Mary had indicated the end of October. We're on legislative time, so we haven't seen it yet, but we're expecting it soon. The general sense is that Senator Shirkey may try to move his proposal over to the House before the end of the year, but may not, with only 6 days left. But we want to be prepared in the event it goes to general orders, which is where you have the principal debate on the Senate floor, and it's out of committee, so you can do that. Senator Shirkey has also introduced, as we discussed earlier, a appropriation bill to appropriate $350 million of the roughly $15 to $20 billion of federal money that the legislature is sitting on and not appropriating. But he offered a supplemental appropriation to let go of $350 million of that to behavioral health, but condition that spending on the adoption of his legislation. So we're also in the process of asking people to ask their legislatures to strike the tie bar as well. And Gary's aware of that, and the State Association and all of the other folks are aware of that as well. So that just kind of brings you up to date on what's been going on since the committee meeting. The committee meeting amendments tell you what had gone on up to that time. Oh, and one last thing, I talked with Phil, and we both agreed that Phil suggested, and I agreed, that we have another policy and legislative committee meeting in the near future, again to make sure we know what's going on, and invite Gary Owen, and I suggested Alan Bolter as well to participate. They would probably have to participate by Zoom, but because of the Open Meetings Act, the committee meeting has to be in person.
Thanks, Nick. Any other comments from board members? Dana, go ahead.
Hi, guys. Sorry I was late. I had another meeting that ran long, so I know I missed almost everything. I was just going to say, though, I was appointed to the Children's Issues Committee at the state level, and we pretty much talked about everything that Nick just said. So I think everybody's kind of on the same page. Everybody knows what's going on. And we recently had a meeting, and our meeting was pretty much everything that Nick just said. That's it.
Thanks, Dana. I also wanted to mention that the Metro Region dinner on December 2nd is now going to be fully virtual. We've scrapped the hybrid model with cases going up and all that good stuff with the holidays happening. So that will be virtual, and Sandy will send out the information for login for everybody. I know she's done it already. I'm sure she'll do it 3 or 4 more times. Any other comments from board members, questions? All right, we will move on to hearing from Sean. Come on, Sean. We changed it just for this meeting.
All right. I'll just start off with, too, I appreciate the condolences from everybody, too, for what happened with us. But just for our monthly report, for all locations, we're having a free Thanksgiving lunch tomorrow for all of our persons served. Preparations for the winter holiday are being made and are being completed. For the holidays, each person served will be receiving a custom-made picture and a frame of themselves and their awards from the summer party. Also, each one of them will be receiving a stocking filled with goodies as well. At our Washington location, they're going to be hosting their annual dinner with Santa December 10th. And then lastly, just to note on too, with the accident that happened, out of the 12 persons served that were in there and the 2 staff, all 12 of them were taken to the hospital, but one of them did fatally pass away. But the following weekday, we had grief counselors come out to that location for the staff. And then the following day from there, the grief counselors did come back out for the person served, and we held like a ceremony for the deceased to bring closure to friends and family. So wish I had a better note to end on, but that is what I have. But thank you, and you guys have a good Thanksgiving. So.
Thank you, Sean. You too. Again, we are so sorry.
Thank you very much. I have a copy of my report as well.
With that, take a motion to adjourn. Motion from Dana. Support from Lori. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Everybody have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.